Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a topic that's both fascinating and often heartbreaking. What happens when a narcissist's carefully constructed fantasy world slams headfirst into reality? We're not just talking about someone who's a little self-centered. We're talking about individuals with narcissistic personality disorder or strong narcissistic traits who build entire worlds based on inflated self-importance, control, and a desperate need for admiration. Whether you've personally experienced this, know someone who has, or you're a professional looking to deepen your understanding, this video is for you. We'll break down the psychology, explore real-life examples, and discuss the potential consequences of this collision. So stick around. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future deep dives. To understand the crash, we first need to understand the fantasy. At the core of narcissism is a deep-seated insecurity and a fragile sense of self. To protect themselves from these feelings, narcissists create a grandiose, idealized version of themselves. This fantasy world is built on several key pillars. Exaggerated sense of self-importance. They believe they are special, unique, and entitled to preferential treatment. Example: think of the colleague who constantly takes credit for others' work and boasts about their accomplishments. Even if they're embellished or outright false, they truly believe they're superior. Constant need for admiration, also known as narcissistic supply. They require constant praise, validation, and attention from others to fuel their sense of self-worth. Example: the social media influencer who obsessively monitors likes and comments, becoming distraught if their posts don't receive the expected level of attention. Their self-worth is tied to external validation. Lack of empathy. They struggle to understand or share the feelings of others. They are often oblivious to the impact of their actions on those around them. For example, consider the parent who dismisses their child's emotional needs, focusing solely on their own achievements and desires. They are unable to see the world from their child's perspective. Sense of entitlement. They believe they deserve special treatment and expect others to comply with their demands. For instance, imagine the customer who throws a tantrum at a restaurant because their order is slightly delayed, demanding free food and a personal apology from the manager. They feel entitled to immediate satisfaction. Exploitative behavior. They often take advantage of others to achieve their own goals. For example, think about the friend who constantly borrows money with no intention of repaying it, manipulating others through guilt or charm. This fantasy world is not just a superficial facade. It's a deeply ingrained belief system that shapes their thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. It's their reality. But here's the thing. Reality has a way of intruding. Sooner or later, the narcissist's carefully constructed fantasy world is going to face a challenge it can't ignore. This collision can be triggered by a number of things: criticism or rejection. This is a major blow to their inflated ego. Example: being passed over for a promotion at work, receiving negative feedback on a project, or experiencing a romantic rejection. Failure or setback. Not achieving their desired outcome can shatter their illusion of competence and superiority. Example: a business venture failing, losing a competition, or struggling to meet expectations. Exposure of lies or deceit. When their manipulation or dishonesty is revealed, it can damage their carefully crafted image. Example: being caught in a lie, having an affair exposed, or getting called out for plagiarism. Someone else's success. Witnessing someone else achieve something they believe they deserve can trigger intense envy and resentment. Example: a colleague receiving recognition for their work, a friend achieving a personal goal, or a family member surpassing their expectations. Aging or physical decline. The realization that they are no longer young and vital can challenge their belief in their own perfection. Example: not being able to do physically what they once did, or having a significant decline in physical appearance. These events threaten to expose the underlying insecurity and vulnerability that the narcissist has been desperately trying to hide. When this happens, the consequences can be significant. The collision between fantasy and reality often leads to what's known as a narcissistic collapse. This is a state of extreme emotional distress and psychological breakdown. It can manifest in a variety of ways: rage and outbursts, They may become intensely angry, aggressive, and verbally abusive, blaming others for their problems. Think of a toddler throwing a tantrum when they can't get what they want. The narcissist in this moment is acting from a similar place of unmet needs and frustration, depression and withdrawal. They may become withdrawn, isolated, and experience feelings of hopelessness and despair. It can be akin to how someone feels after a major life loss, except it comes from a narcissistic ego loss. Anxiety and paranoia. They may become excessively worried, suspicious, and fearful of being exposed or rejected, similar to the way someone feels when they are afraid of failure, just amplified. Increased narcissistic behavior. Ironically, they may double down on their narcissistic behaviors in an attempt to regain control and restore their sense of self-worth. Almost as if someone with a shopping problem goes on an even bigger shopping spree to feel better about themselves. Suicidal thoughts or actions. In severe cases, the narcissistic collapse can lead to suicidal ideation or attempts. Relatable idea. It's like how someone feels when they have lost everything and cannot find purpose. It's important to remember that these are coping mechanisms, albeit unhealthy ones. They are struggling to reconcile their idealized self-image with the harsh realities of life. So what can be done when a narcissist world collides with reality? For the narcissist, genuine self-reflection and a willingness to seek professional help are crucial. Therapy, particularly dialectical behavior therapy, DBT, or schema therapy, can help them develop healthier coping mechanisms and address the underlying insecurities that drive their behavior. However, they must acknowledge their actions and be willing to change for those affected. If you're in a relationship with a narcissist, it's essential to prioritize your own well-being. Set boundaries, seek support from friends, family, or a therapist, and consider whether the relationship is sustainable in the long term. It's not your responsibility to fix them. For professionals, understanding the nuances of narcissistic collapse can help professionals like therapists or life coaches address narcissistic symptoms with patience and a proper approach. It's a long and challenging process, but change is possible with commitment and professional guidance. The collision of a narcissist's fantasy world with reality is a painful experience, not just for the narcissist, but also for those around them. By understanding the underlying psychology and the potential consequences, we can approach these situations with more compassion and informed action. Remember, seeking help is a sign of strength, not weakness. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who might benefit from this information. Let me know in the comments if you want me to cover related topics. And don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth psychology content. Until next time, take care.